Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch kind of a horror classic from the early 80s, the Blu-ray for Madman. Let's check it out. Movie starts out around a campfire. This guy's singing the song, telling the story about Madman Marz.
The scent of death crawling, full moon, the witness.
And this guy tells the story.
We're not supposed to be this close to it because many strange things happen around here. He was a farmer with his family, with an axe in his hand, and chopped his sleeping wife into little pieces. Then, with his bloodlust awakened, he walked down the hall to his son's room.
Eventually killed his entire family.
Dragged him screaming to the nearest tree.
They apparently hung him with a noose then, did the townspeople.
Around his neck and hoisted him high into the air. One of them grabbed the bloody axe and swung it at the farmer's head.
Legend says he's still out there, and if you whisper his name, he'll show up.
It is said also that if you say his name above a whisper in the woods, he will hear you, because he can be anywhere. His name is Marz, Madman Marz.
Hey, Marz! Madman Marz! Here we are! Come and get us!
Eventually they all wander off.
Okay, that looks good. Let's line up.
And that appears to be Marz.
Get ready for a little double time.
So this guy wandered off, and then he found this abandoned house, which we know is the house where Marz had lived and killed his wife and 2 kids. Time for our victims to start getting theirs. Apparently Madman Marz is still there, living, has a home. I'm assuming it's the same home that one guy was wandering around in. Here's 2 of our characters, Betsy and TP, doing what they do in the hot tub. This is where we get our one nude scene from the film. Of course, while they're doing their thing in the hot tub, Marz is doing his thing, spying on them. They've awoken the legend that is Madman Marz.
Smells like
This guy looks like he's going to be the next victim. Here comes the end of TP. This is Dave who went out to look for TP. Found him. So you know Dave is next, right? Kind of a cool stalking scene from the Madman. This woman's about to leave in her truck. Here comes the Madman, and oh, she's gonna be lucky, just for now anyway. Later on, she stumbles upon Dave's body, and we see what exactly Marz did to him. Cool. And Stacy's next, and there goes her head as well.
Stacy!
We got this man and this woman who are wandering around now. Oh, she spots Madman and Stacy's body. That was the wrong thing to do. When she brings Bill back to the truck, they find out why it won't start, because Stacy's head is stuck in it. Remove head, maybe truck will start. There goes Bill. Now Madman Marz is after her, so she decides to hide in the refrigerator. Of course, the thing about hiding in the fridge is eventually you have to come out. If anything, it gets cold in there. I believe we're down to Galen Ross here now, and there's also unfortunately a bunch of kids at this camp, so she's trying to get them out of there on the bus. And that old pal Marz comes back. Anyway, she manages to get away, but then for whatever reason she decides to get off, leave the bus, grab a gun, and find Marz's house. If she's looking for Marz, I think she's going to find him. He does. Perhaps it wasn't a great idea trying to seek out Marz. We thought she was going to be our final survivor, but nope, she gets hung on a hook. She does have a knife, though. And with whatever strength she's got left, I don't think that's going to do much good on Marz, but she did manage to start a fire.
He's real.
On him, the legend lives, beware the Madman Marz. The legend lives, beware the Madman Marz.
Alright, let's talk about Madman. This is a movie that I first rented, in 86 maybe. I copied it onto a beta tape. I rented it from a place called Denny's Video in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And I think I may have gotten Pink Flamingos that night as well. I actually watched this movie. A lot of those movies I rented back then I just taped and never watched, but I actually did watch this one live and I enjoyed it. Especially like the ending theme song, "The legend lives, beware the Madman Marz." I thought that was pretty cool, and I remember that for years and years and years. I've never forgotten it, actually. The movie itself is a typical early 80s horror movie. It came out in 1981. Galen Ross is the person of note in this. You may have seen her in Dawn of the Dead. She was the woman in that movie. She also had a small role in Creepshow. Those are the only 3 movies she did, and I have all 3 of them, so there you go. Apparently, this guy named Marz, Madman Marz, killed his whole family, his wife and his 2 kids, and then the townspeople hung him up, but the next morning when they went to cut him down, they found he was gone, and the bodies of his victims were all gone too. And then the legend says that he still wanders the woods and occasionally pops up to kill people here and there. I don't know. Anyway, so one of the kids at this campfire starts provoking him. "Hey, Madman Marz, come get us!" You know, he thought it was just a game. He was just fooling around. Turns out the story is real, and there is a Madman Marz. And next thing you know, this guy Marz shows up and starts killing people one by one. Eventually, at the end of this movie, we're left with Galen Ross. She's the last, survivor. It looks like she's going to be the last female survivor, and she's going to find a way to kill Madman Marz, but no. She gets hung on a hook in the basement of Marz's home, and then with her last dying breath, she manages to stab him, but she kind of like stabbed him in the shoulder or the back, so don't think she actually killed him. And then the house started on fire, but presumably Madman Marz just left the house, so I guess he's still wandering around out there somewhere. And that's basically our film. It certainly opened the door for a sequel. I don't know why it never happened, but it didn't. Anyway, this Blu-ray itself is pretty cool. Put out by Vinegar Syndrome. A lot of extras on here. There's some trailers, TV spots, but they also reunite some of the cast. There's a 90-minute documentary which features several of the cast members and crew talking about the film. They interviewed Madman Marz himself. They even go back to some of the locations. They take Marz, the actor who played Marz, back to some of the filming locations, and they wandered through the woods and stuff there. It's really actually kind of cool. 35 years had passed between the time that this thing was filmed and the movie itself came out. The movie itself, I enjoyed it. I don't think there was any nudity in this movie. Actually, there was. Galen Ross had a brief scene. We'd see some guy's butt too, but other than that, and that hot tub scene, other than that, nothing there. But there was some decent gore too, including a couple of decapitations, which are always good for a horror movie. I like this this movie. I like the theme song, which is kind of fun. Typical. I don't know why they never made a sequel, but they did. But anyway, it's called Madman, and you can get this on Blu-ray now from Vinegar Syndrome, which they did a great, fantastic job with this. It looks great, so good job, Vinegar Syndrome. I encourage people to go out and buy this movie. You can get it for about $17 or so on eBay or Amazon. That's pretty much the going rate. It's also on DVD if you want to get it a little cheaper as well. I do have the DVD also, but I upgraded to the Blu-ray because it's cool. So anyway, check it out. It's called Madman. Let me know what you think about it and leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. It's Madman. Watch. Bye.